The Whispering House of Tennessee, based on the famous Bell Witch legend. Tennessee, America. In the early 1800s, a family called the Bells lived peacefully on a farm in Tennessee. Everything was normal, until strange things began happening inside their home. It started with knocking. Every night, someone knocked on the walls. Knock, knock, knock. The family searched everywhere, but they found nothing. Then the scratching started. It sounded like someone was dragging their fingernails across the walls. One night, John Bell, the head of the family, heard the noise coming from his bedroom. He opened the door. Nothing. Then a voice whispered behind him, "Leave." John turned around. Nobody was there. He checked the room. Empty. He went back to bed. Then the voice came again. "Leave this house." This time the voice sounded like it was coming from inside the walls. John told his family. They didn't believe him at first, but soon everyone began hearing the strange voice. Footsteps walked through the house at night. Doors opened by themselves. Chairs moved across the floor. And sometimes the blankets were pulled from the children's beds. One evening, John's youngest daughter suddenly screamed. Her family rushed into the room. What happened? The girl pointed toward the corner. Someone is standing there. Everyone looked. There was nobody. Then, a woman's voice spoke from the darkness. "I am here." The family froze. John shouted, "Who are you?" Silence. Then the voice answered, "I know your family." From that night, the strange presence began speaking more often. Sometimes it sounded like a woman, sometimes an old man, sometimes a child. The family called the mysterious spirit Kate. Nobody knew who Kate really was, but she seemed to know everything about them. She knew their names, their secrets, and even conversations that happened outside the house. Then the spirit began targeting John. Every night, he felt someone standing behind him. He heard whispers. Sometimes he woke up with strange marks on his body. The family tried to protect him, but nothing helped. One night, the voice whispered, "He will not leave this house alive." John became seriously ill. His family called for help, but the strange voice kept returning. Then one morning, John Bell was found dead in his bed. The family was devastated. But the strangest thing happened afterward. The mysterious voice returned, and it laughed. The family realized whatever was inside their house was still there. Years later, the Bell Witch story became famous throughout Tennessee. People began visiting the area. Some wanted to prove the story was false. Others wanted to experience the haunting themselves. One night, a group of visitors entered the old property with cameras. They planned to spend the night. At first, nothing happened. Then, around midnight, one camera suddenly turned off. A few seconds later, they heard a woman's voice. Everyone became silent. Then a chair suddenly moved across the room, but another chair moved. The door slammed shut. The visitors tried to open it. It wouldn't move. Then a man's voice whispered, "John is still here." The group froze. Suddenly, they heard footsteps behind them, slow, heavy, getting closer. Nobody wanted to turn around. Then, a cold breath touched one man's neck. He screamed! At that exact moment, the door opened. Everyone ran outside. They never returned. But one camera was left behind. When investigators watched the recording, they saw an empty room. Nothing happened for several minutes. Then, a dark figure appeared in the corner. It looked like a woman. She stood completely still. Then she slowly turned toward the camera. Her face was impossible to see, but her voice was clear. "Tell them I am still here." The recording ended. Today, the bell, which remains one of America's most famous supernatural legends. Some believe the story was real. Others believe it was only a legend that became bigger with time. But locals still tell a frightening story. They say that if you visit the area alone at night, you may hear a woman's voice whisper your name. And if you answer, the voice will come closer, closer, and closer, until you realize something terrifying. The voice isn't coming from the old house. It isn't coming from the forest. It's coming from directly behind you. And when you finally turn around, you may see a pale woman standing inches away. She will smile and whisper, "Did you come to see me?" Event.